Okay, and we're going. Fantastic. Hello, and welcome to another episode of That Made Your List, a weekly podcast where an average, ordinary film fan, me, interviews other average, ordinary film fans. My name is Dave Goodger, and joining me this week we have Chance Ellison. Hello, Chance.
Hi, hello, people. I don't know what you call your fans. That made you list, people.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna call you right now.
Absolutely. Okay, right. Before we get started, Chance, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm clearly I'm American. I grew up in Texas, but I live in Arizona now. I've been a major film fan since I could work a VCR, which is actually very early. I've heard about this show, and I've been super excited to come on. And finally glad I got to get my shot.
Okay, brilliant. Right, jump straight into these then. One of the most difficult ones on there that people to actually try and narrow down. But what's your favourite film?
For me, this is no contest. I mean, I have my top 10. My number one film, it's got to be. It's hands down Star Wars: The Original Trilogy. That's a series of films. I know I'm kind of stretching the definition because I consider those like one long movie. But like, how could you not like that? That's like one of the most influential trilogies in like film history. I mean, each film I consider great. I've watched them countless times, and there are movies that I can go back to all the time. It's raining outside. I'll watch the Star Wars Original Trilogy. I just got on vacation from school. I'll watch Star Wars Original Trilogy.
Yep.
Me and my brother and sister are born. We'll watch Star Wars. Like that's something that's it's really resonated with me. It's really resonated with my brother, my sister, it's resonated with my entire family, and we can clearly see why. Like Star Wars for us, like anytime there's a movie, like it's an event for us. Like we are hardcore Star Wars fans.
Yep.
And that original trilogy is just like so near and dear to my heart that like. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite film of all time. Favorite films of all time, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to narrow you down to one. Which one of them? Come on, you got to pick one.
It's
like picking.
One.
Yeah,
it's like picking three. Like asking you to pick your favorite child.
That's easy. If any in doubt, go with the one that comes first.
Jeez. Okay, so all right. Parent of the Year, Dave Goodger. I'm gonna say my favorite, hands down. I think my personal favorite's got to be Empire Strikes Back. I mean, come on, like so many like such great dark new direction, that great iconic twist, the "No, I am your father."
Yes.
We'll get Lando in that movie. I mean that movie takes so many risks and they all like pay off immensely. I think.
Absolutely. No. Okay. I'd say it's my favourite Star Wars film as well. That's including obviously. The prequels will leave them as their own. Although some of the prequels have got the merits in parts.
Yeah, they got like there's plenty of stuff in the prequel that do work. There's just like more stuff things that don't work. And it's funny like you bring that up. Like I come from like a family of like I have two brothers and sisters, and each of us have a different favorite from the original trilogy. Like my little sister's favorite, hers is A New Hope, and my brother's favorite is Return of the Jedi. So we have that paradigm.
No, Return of the Jedi for me. I rate Revenge of the Sith above Jedi personally. I just don't. For me, I just don't. Maybe it's just too 80s for me.
Too 80s. Yeah. No such thing. Yes, Jimmy, there's no such thing.
Yeah. The Star Wars. I mean, I get a feeling we might come back to this with the whole franchise thing down at the end there. By the sound of this.
We might.
Yeah. There's something just very rewatchable about all three of the films. Really, it's as you say, it's a film for anything. If you're bored, you can sit and you can watch it easy.
Absolutely.
Although I think Jaws is recognised as probably the first blockbuster, I think Star Wars was the one that really took the summer event movies to the next level.
Exactly, and it's funny because I wrote a paper on Star Wars when I was in high school, and I go back I was going back and doing my research. It turns out like Spielberg was the only one who had the foresight to think this was a hit. And,
yes.
He screened it for De Palma and another director. I can't remember.
I think it was Coppola.
Coppola. No.
Coppola or Scorsese. It's one of those two. I thought it was one of those two.
It might have been one of those two.
I think it was Coppola because those four were all real tight.
Yeah, it might have been those two. So either way. So Yeah, it was the very first screening, and like Coppola and it was Coppola and or the other guy.
Yeah.
Coppola and De Palma were looking at like, oh my god, what is this? And
What
then
are you
Spielberg
doing?
was like, this is gonna be a hit, man. I
Yeah.
guarantee it.
No.
And hey, don't doubt Spielberg. Do not doubt Spielberg.
No. Oh no. I mean, the guy's record by itself. If he says something's going to be a hit, it's probably going to be right. That's a real strong start. Okay, moving on then. What's the last film you watched?
Last film I watched, as of recording this, I believe it was the new comedy Blockers, starring
yes.
John Cena and Ike Barinholtz and Leslie Mann.
Any good?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, because like when I saw the trailer, I thought this is gonna suck. It's gonna be one of the like stupid raunchy comedies.
Yes.
And much to my surprise, like it's actually like really good. Yeah, there are the raunchy ones that made me like roll my eyes like super hard.
Yeah.
But overall, like it's not really about like the teen sex. It's really about the connection between parents and kids.
All right.
And like letting go and letting your kid grow up, find their own way, and all that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like a really great message. I thought that was really well executed. John Cena, as of right now, he's one of my favorite performances of the year.
Really?
He's he's fantastic in that movie. I think he's kind of really like finding his niche in comedy.
Yeah.
He tried some action movies like in the earlier 2000s, didn't work, but like the dude's like he's got like really great comedic timing. I was surprised by him.
Yeah, I mean he was. What's the other one he was in? Where it was really quite funny in. Oh God, I'm blanking on it now.
Sisters, Trainwreck.
Trainwreck.
He was one of my favorite parts of Trainwreck.
Yeah, he was really good in there, and he's always going to get compared now. I mean, even more so with the WWE background to The Rock.
Well, to The Rock.
Yeah.
But I mean, like he could get The Rock up for his money, but you got to see how he does like the action feels.
Yes, I mean, with it doing so well with the comedy part, I mean, obviously The Rock went into action first, and then is now coming more around to the comedy. I think he could quite possibly carve out a niche into have been more comedic to begin with, and not have to rely on the action films on the back because he's doing so well with it. But we'll see. I've not seen that yet. It's one that I do want to watch. The problem is when I go out to the theatres, I normally have two.
Yeah, I say definitely check it out, and I think if you're a parent, it'll probably resonate with you more.
Yes.
So yeah, I say definitely like give it a go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's find someone to look after my two kids. They're 8 and 11, so I can't drag them to this one. I got a feeling.
No. There's a certain chugging scene that probably would cause some confusion.
Okay. Okay, right, we'll crack on then. What's your favourite action film?
My favorite action film. There's so many great ones. I mean, you get your glasses, you got your Die Hard, your Indiana Jones, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think my favorite action film, hands down, has got to be Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Yeah.
I remember I saw the first Terminator on Netflix, and I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recorded a DVR'd Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And I remember being just like blown away by it. Like I was thinking about it. I remember like so many great, awesome scenes. You got Robert Patrick, one of I think the best villains of the '90s.
Oh yeah, I mean
T-1000.
Yeah, never better.
He was never topped. Better. He was never topped in that franchise.
No, not at all. It's obviously 1991, but even 1991, you watch it now, and it's
the
still,
CG is actually like really good for 91.
Yeah, considering it's 28, 27 years old. It's
around there.
Yeah, that's quite good. Nominated for 6 Oscars, winning 4.
Actually, the first sequel to be nominated for an Academy Award, where the predecessor wasn't. Or no, the first sequel to win an Oscar where their predecessor wasn't even nominated.
Yes. What's the other one then?
No, wait, what?
What's the other film then? Because there's been 2.
Well, that was the first sequel to win an Oscar. The first one had to have been Godfather 2, right?
There is that, but oh god, you see, I read up on this.
Oh wait, another sequel to win where the predecessor wasn't nominated.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I will get this.
Was Batman Begins nominated for any Oscars?
Don't think it was.
It might have been.
No, it might have been. Might have been. There was a Bourne Ultimatum. The only sequel
was
to
that
win.
it?
It was the only other sequel to win.
The predecessor wasn't nominated.
Yes, with the previous not installment for nominated for anything. There you go.
Much deserved, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, obviously it won for best sound effects, visual effects, and best makeup. I mean, the makeup on there, that on his makeup towards the end when his face is all shredded and you can see through it. It's yeah.
Which if you read about like stories, like there's a story where his I think it was like this like 4-year-old daughter that came on set and she was like, terrified of him.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that really makes me laugh with this. The production took so long that Edward Furlong's voice began to break during filming. They had to fix his voice in post production because it took so long to complete all the filming. It was breaking during the desert scenes.
No, and you can clearly say, he's gonna blow away.
Yeah. It's Arnie was paid $15 million for the role,
and he only spoke like less than like what
700 words.
700 words. That's like I don't want to do the math right now, but that's a shit ton of money.
27,000. Hatta La Vista cost $85,000.
Wasn't else paid a helicopter for that movie?
Yes. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The biker bar scene that's obviously right at the start of the film was filmed across the street from the Rodney King beating, and also filmed on the same night. It was filmed on the same night as well.
That's crazy.
I know. I mean, it's yeah. I think it's without a doubt it's the only Terminator film to be nominated for an Oscar, but it's also hands down the best.
No, absolutely.
They dropped off a cliff after this one.
Yeah, and that's like, it really makes you like really like down on how the Terminator franchise has fallen, because you had Terminator 3, which is not as good. Terminator Salvation, what the hell was that movie? Ugh. Terminator Genesis, which somehow managed to be the worst of the three. I didn't think it was possible.
No, it's yeah. Anyway, we're going down. This is good. It's a really, really good film, and one I think I'm probably going to have to watch again now because it's been a little while since I've watched it.
Yeah, actually, I got to see the 3D re-release when it was done a little while back.
Oh wow, yeah. That's we don't get a lot of things like that over here. They come. You're so lucky with the films that get released over in the States compared to what we get over here. It's
you don't get many of the releases across the pond.
Yeah, the special releases and like the 25th anniversary ones and stuff like that. We just don't get them over here. Not that I get noticed. Maybe in London, maybe on a couple of screens in London, but not out here in the sticks. It's
maybe Che can fill you in on that when he gets off the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Moving on then. What's your favourite horror film?
Horror film. Kind of stretching the definition here. But my favourite horror film, I think, hands down, has to be Psycho.
Oh, yeah. The original, not the Vince Vaughn version.
No, not the Gus Van Sant shot for shot. Remake.
Yeah.
I think that first Psycho, I remember. See, in my hometown, we have a classic film festival because we have like a big like classic looking theater that looks like one of those like old school, old timey theaters.
All right.
And in the summer, they have like a big like film festival where they show like movies on that screen. Mm-hmm. And one of the movies I saw that year, I saw two movies that same summer. One I bring up a little later. One of which was Psycho. Okay. And like that solidified my interest in Hitchcock, and he became one of my favorite directors after that.
Yeah. And
that theater, that movie, that audience, that movie came out in 1960, and I was watching it in 2010, and I was still getting just as scared and just as freaked out. Mm-hmm. And it really showed you that like Hitchcock knew, like he really was a master of suspense, because like his technique, they were not dated, they were not out of step, like. He was still just as shocking as was in 1960 as he was in 2010, as he is today in 2018.
No, absolutely.
Like there was no other director like him.
No, without a shadow of a doubt. It's Alfred Hitchcock's 50th feature film that he directed.
50th?
It was his 50th. It's absolutely stunning. It was at the end of a 3-year run. That in 58 was Vertigo, 59 was North by Northwest, and 60 was Psycho. Now that's a hell
of a 3 years.
Yeah, hell of a 3 years there. Nominated for 4 Oscars, if I remember rightly. It was director.
But not Best Picture, strangely enough.
What's that, sorry?
Not Best Picture, strangely enough.
No, director, supporting actress, black and white cinematography, and black and white art direction. which I think those two have since fallen by the wayside, obviously with the with the Oscars. But
with the switch to the colored pictures.
yes, yeah. No, it's still a freaky film that unsettles. I think a lot of that is to do with the score as well.
No, yeah, exactly. Like that score just pierces, pierces your eardrums.
Yes,
and it's just like an unrelenting, especially like you go to the iconic one, I guess, the shower scene.
Yeah,
like that. Especially I was so scared to take a shower for so long after that movie.
Yeah,
yeah. I had to just my doors were locked. I looked at the curtain every now and then.
Yeah, it's. I think it came through on TV the other day. I remember watching it. I only watched it for a little while, and it was just before the shower scene. And I had my youngest sitting next to me, and my wife sitting further along the sofa. And she's like, "No, come on, we're watching." I said, "No, this is the shower scene. We've got to watch it. If we're watching only a little bit, we've got to see the shower scene." Yeah, and it was obviously you see the blood at the end. It's like Hershey's chocolate sauce, and I'm telling him a little. It's not blood. It's not real blood. This is just chocolate sauce, but it looks like you've got to use it for the colour.
Well, yeah, to use it because nothing else they had matched the consistency of real blood. That was the only thing.
It's just fantastic. Again, with the score, Hitchcock loves the score so much. He got Bernard Herrmann. Yeah, he got his salary doubled. Got his salary doubled for the film because he loved the score so much, and he reckoned it made so much of the movie was that he got his salary doubled.
Well deserved, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. And starts off the start of the film. You don't expect this to be this horror film. It's a heist. It starts off with a heist, and obviously with a
you're saying it's going to be a heist movie, and then your main character dies a third of the way through.
Yep, 40,000. The whole thing, she's stolen 40,000 nowadays. If you start saying, "Oh yeah, someone stole 40,000," it's chump change if you're looking at that in the movie.
Yeah, and then 1960, that was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money back then. It was what they bought a house for, wasn't it? Because that was the money that she was stolen. It was a cash payment on a house. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. Moving on then, what's your favourite drama?
Favorite drama. This is the one I discovered a little later. It's got. I think for me, it's The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, what?
1994 was that was a fantastic year for film. And while it was not my favorite, I do think this was the peak of '94. I thought this movie was. I thought it was fantastic.
Yes.
You got the fantastic performances of Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. Clancy Brown in the movies, he's always amazing.
Yes.
One of the great another one of the great cinematic villains, Warden Samuel Norton. Just so many great moments, so many great acting scenes between two people.
Yes.
And just the great feeling of hope you have from watching that movie. It's incomparable. It's a fantastic film.
Yes. No.
And I think like that was Frank Darabont's very first movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's only done 4 in total feature films.
Yeah, he's only done 4. I think all 4 films are actually really good that he's done.
Yeah,
he did Green Mile, The Mist.
Yes, and Majestic.
The
only one I've not seen out of that is The Mist.
The Mist is like really phenomenal. I think Frank Darabont has like a little thing with Stephen King. Like he's the only one that hit it. I think 3 for 3.
Yeah. But in 1994, as you say, is a hell of a film. Just having a quick look here and looking at it: Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Lion King, True Lies, Ace Ventura,
Quiz Show,
Natural Born Killers, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, Interview with a Vampire. It just goes on. Legends of the Fall. Okay, we've also got Maverick in there, so we can't look too high into it. But yeah, that's just the stuff.
Every year it's gonna have something. Hey, you also have Romy Michelle's High School Reunion. Let's not forget about that movie.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, Friends has got a lot to answer for.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously based on Stephen King's short, which I didn't realise. It took me a little while to actually. You don't really think of Stephen King as being a film sort of like this, like The Shawshank is.
No, exactly. Like this is completely different. Like you could put like Stephen King, like horror, suspense, all that jazz.
Yeah.
But he did something like this, and like It's a shame people don't like recognize a little more because like this is a really like potent short story and became like a really really solid. I think it's just because it's overshadowed by the movie.
Yes, yeah. I got to agree with you on that one. Obviously, Morgan Freeman is that's sort of ingrained.
Top of his game, Morgan Freeman.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a guy that you never see dialing it in. He's but every film is Morgan Freeman. You can tell, yeah, that is. I mean, he's a guy that I could quite happily sit down on the sofa watching him read the phone book. It's just his voice.
Yeah, that voice, like he's perfectly suited for narration. Probably one of the best narration jobs ever in a movie. And yeah, I mean that movie, like a lot of people like he's been nominated for like so many Academy Awards, and I can see like a really solid argument why he should have won for this one. Like he's just so the journey that like Red goes on in that movie is just like so fantastic and so engaging.
Yes, yeah, it's it makes it all the funnier though that originally it was between Clint Eastwood, Harrison Ford, Paul Newman, and Robert Redford for his part.
I don't think any of them would have done as good.
No.
I think that would need to be Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, obviously, the reason being in the book or in the short story, he's a red-haired Irishman.
Yeah, that's why they call him Red.
That's why I call him Red, and there's actually a line that calls back to that in there. It says, "Why does they call you Red?" Or maybe I'm Irish. So it's a great callback to that on there.
I remember that.
Yeah, it didn't do particularly well when it was released.
No, it didn't. Like it bombed financially,
but went on to be one of the highest grossing video rentals of all time, and probably on through there with digital releases
for
now.
good reason. It's one of those movies that like people. It's one of those like movies that people didn't see in theater, but like they discover it later.
Yes,
and when they discover it, they love it.
I'm the same as that. I didn't see it. I didn't go and see it at the cinemas, at the theatres when it came out. I was another one that caught it. I don't even think I caught it on. I think it must have been on TV when I first saw it, and then went out and bought it. I mean, it's up on my collection that I've got. Didn't win an Oscar, which is I found amazing for it. Nominated for 7.
Nice.
Nominated for 7, but I'm pretty sure it didn't win. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor, Screenplay, Cinematography, Sound, Editing,
Supporting
and Score.
actor.
Was it supporting actor? What I thought.
I think supporting. I think Tim Robbins might have been nominated for that movie also.
Right, okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't win in any. Let me just double check on that one.
I can see it not winning it.
Yeah, no.
Didn't win anything.
Nope. It was Morgan Freeman in Best Actor in a Leading Role. Best Writing, Cinematography, Sound, and Editing and Score. Yeah, and then Best Picture as well.
Oh.
But there you go. Yeah, but yeah, a travesty. But as you say, '94 was a very, very strong year for films.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And granted, there's another movie coming out in '94 that I might bring up in a later question that may have won a certain award.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, switching it around a little bit. What's your favourite comedy?
Favorite comedy? This hands down got to be for me. It's definitely The Big Lebowski, the Coen Brothers. My hands down favorite Jeff Bridges performance as Jeff the Dude Lebowski. I love the irreverency of that movie. I love that like we boil down to it, the movie is essentially just about a rug.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things so many things happen in that movie where like take for example the scene where he's at the bowling alley right after the guy ruined his rug. That scene goes on for I want to say a good like 5-7 minutes when really that could go down to two lines of dialogue like, hey, you should go see that guy about your rug. Okay, cut to the next scene. But I think what makes that work is like the dialogue and the performances in that movie. And I think that really shows like the Coen brothers, like their knack for taking movies that like really were not much going on and making that like really good and really funny, really engaging, really powerful.
Yeah, I mean, here's one that I'm embarrassed to admit. I have not seen The Big Lebowski. It's a massive hole in
dude, you need to watch it. And actually,
I know. I'm anticipating I think we're up to about 30 odd listeners. They're going to be now screaming down their devices at me. How could I be on claim to be a film fan and not seen it? It is one that's every time I go to watch it, there's always something else on that takes my fancy instead.
No, yeah, I think it's a movie that I want you to sit down and watch it. Like you immediately want to watch it again because like this is actually the very first Blu-ray I ever owned.
Right.
Like it was one that my mom actually got for me after I got good grades on my tests, and it happened to be the Ellison, I think like the 15 or 10 year anniversary. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched it that night, and I was like, I couldn't. It took me a few watches to like really like engross myself into it, and, like keep track of what was going on. But like even after the first watch, I was just so enthralled. I loved that movie. Like, it was an instant hit for me.
Yeah, no, there's always at least one film from every interview that I've done so far that goes onto a list of films I need to see, and there's bound to be one this time, and yeah, it's this one. So Big Lebowski goes on my list of films that I need to see. Yeah, so sell me on it then. Sell me on the film. Why should I need to sit down and watch this?
Okay, first of all, you have Pete Coen brothers. Like they actually have all the talents here, where they take like a dark crime story and add like a lot of like humor, a lot of likability to it. You have Jeff Bridges, and I think hands down his best performance of all time. It's really a wonder how he didn't get more recognition. I think that's why they made up for Crazy Heart a few years later.
Yeah.
You have like a fantastic ensemble to back him up. You have John Goodman in that movie. He's really great. Steve Buscemi, who's he's kind of like a really great like lightning rod for demeaning jokes. You have Julianne Moore, who's great. Philip Seymour Hoffman's in that movie. He gets but he's in it. He gets like 2 scenes,
right.
But he's like one of the memorable parts about it. Mm-hmm. You got Tara Reid, the best thing she's ever done. Flea is in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and you also have like a really great, like a convoluted story in a really great way, where you have a protagonist who could not care less about what's going on in a story where he has to kind of learn. He has to be invested, and he's just so not, and that leads to a lot of really great moments.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah,
and also Sam Elliott's the narrator.
There you go. As I say, it's on my list. It's this list is getting bigger and bigger. I need to start watching some of the films I've actually put on the list. Brilliant. Okay, right. Moving on then. What's the film that makes you happy?
It makes me happy. These next questions are a little tougher for me. I think for me though, it's got to be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yep. I'm a huge candy fanatic, and I attribute that to this movie. Like, I think like the majesty and the wonder really shines through in this movie, because like this is like the literal definition of a kid in a candy store. Mm-hmm. And it's like the world's greatest candy store. That's like a childhood dream for any kid. Like you talk to any kid who's seen this movie, they're like, I want to go to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Oh, absolutely. You
have a great likable flawed protagonist in Charlie Bucket.
Yep.
Then you got his cheating old Grandpa Jeff, who's laying in bed all day until he gets to go to a chocolate factory, and stealing smokes from children.
Yep.
But even then, like, he's still really good. You have all the great musical numbers. You got Gene Wilder, who is absolutely watching that movie makes you really appreciate just how good of an actor Gene Wilder was. Although that wasn't one of his favorite roles, maybe one of his more recognizable ones. And you can clearly see why the dude has he has such a charisma and a likability to him that he lent to just about every role he did. But in this one in particular, I think it really worked because, he's you don't see him for a majority. You don't see him till halfway through the movie. Like, you just hear people talk about him, and then when he comes out and he's all crushy and he's all man, this is the guy I've been hearing about. Then he goes right into a somersault. And you're like, okay, no, this is the guy. This is the guy who would have this crazy, insane chocolate factory.
Yeah.
And I think it sends a good message to kids about, don't be, greedy, don't chew gum.
Yeah.
Don't watch TV.
Yeah, don't watch too much TV. Yeah.
Or else you'll go to a chocolate factory and die. But I think it's a movie that really captures it does a really good job of capturing childhood view, and Kent does a good job. Although Roald Dahl didn't love the movie, I think it really captures the spirit of the Willy Wonka of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory book.
Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, my youngest has got a reading competition going on at his school recently, and it's like, oh, read a book that's based, read a book that's a film's been made out of it. And I'm like, well, Roald Dahl. You got so many different Roald Dahls you can go for. I mean,
oh, exactly. Yeah, Matilda.
The imagination, yeah, Matilda, BFG, obviously Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And that just off the top of my head. The TV series has been made as well of SEO Trot and the rest of his book.
And Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox, of course, Wes Anderson. And I mean, I love that film. That film, absolutely, Fantastic Mr. Fox. But the imagination of that guy writing all these, and I mean, those books were part of my childhood.
And I do.
Yeah, I mean, and they're still, I mean, and they're still relevant now. And the kids of the young kids of today are still picking up these books and coming to this Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka new, and then you can watch this 1971 film and say, right, that book you really like, here's the film about it, and just let them just join in it and with this thing that your eyes were open to it the first time when you watched it as well. It's just, there's not many times you can actually get that connection all the way through.
No, yeah, that's exactly right, and also, it's it's hard to make a movie like that timeless and that, you know, like a movie that resonates that much with you know, audience for like 40 years later.
Yeah, came out in 71.
So yeah, and I first discovered it. Yeah, it's funny because I first discovered that after I saw like a play in my school. I'm like, I gotta watch this movie.
Yep.
And like the movie, I was completely engrossed from start to finish. And I do think one of my favorite lines is at the end. Actually, I went like back to the film festival in my hometown. We talked to like one of the guests was the director of that movie. And it's funny because like they talked, like Hughes had well, like the book, as you know, like it ends with literally the last line of the book is yippee.
Yeah.
So it's a funny story. He was talking to one of his friends, and like he was calling him from like the last day of shooting, and he's just like he's calling up the guy. He's like, hello. He's like, hello. Yeah. Okay. So I need a way to end this movie. Like, what's wrong with one of the book? Okay, look, we've been shooting this for almost 3 months. It cannot come down to yippee. He's like, so, okay, and then, like, the guy he's talking is like, okay, give me a minute. And then he walks around, and he comes back, he's like, okay, here's how you end it. He's like, here's how you end it. You have Willy Wonka tell Charlie, he says, like, Charlie, you know what happened to the boy you know what happened to the boy who got everything he ever wanted? Charlie says, what? And Willy Wonka says, he lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
And then you end right there.
Yep.
Then he's like, and then he was like, okay, I was like, okay, thanks, bye. And then he hangs up. With that director, like he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
Like even to like one of like I met him like right before he sadly passed away. Mm-hmm. Even right until he died, he was always like one of those guys like always wanted to work. He's always throwing stuff into stuff. And yeah, I think that ending is. I think the story ending is so great and that ending is so potent. I think it really like puts the dot in that movie.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's the casting there, as you say, you've got there, but the Charlie Bucket, Peter Ostrom.
Peter Ostrom, yeah.
Never made another film. He was a vet. He was a veterinarian. the only one as of a few years ago that was still making one was Veruca Salt, Dawn. Whatever, I can't remember her surname now, but she was the only one. Yeah, she was the only one that was still making films.
I mean, that's you could pick worse films to go out on.
Yeah, oh no, absolutely. Yeah, if you're going to be a one and done, you may as well make one that's going to be one of the most timeless movies of all time.
Exactly.
Okay, right. Let's flip that on its head. Go the other way of it. Name a film that makes you sad.
Oh yeah, there's another hard one for me. It's between two. It's between two for me. I think I gotta go with this one. A film that makes me sad is Edward Scissorhands. Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
You know, for those of you probably seen it by now, but those of you that haven't, it's about an inventor played by Vincent Price who loses the last film before his death, and he creates this person, and in places like he didn't make him hands, so like in places that he has just like a bunch of scissors. And I remember seeing that that in, like, the bargain bin at, like, a Walmart or something one time. I asked my mom about it, and she's like, oh, it's a great movie. And then, like, it came on TV one night, and we sat down and watched it, and, like, it's like strangely, like, gothic, but it's like it's like a bright, vibrant tale.
Yeah.
And it's really like the meat of the movie comes from, like, Edward coming into the lives of this family, and the romance he develops with the daughter, played by Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
And it's such like a beautiful, like, flawed romance, because like one of my favorite, like, scenes in that movie is, like, when she goes, like, hold me, and he just is like, I can't, because, like, he holds her, he's gonna cut her, like, he's gonna cut her a ton. But it's just, like, such a sad thing, because, like, these two people who really, like, want to be together, but, like, they just can't, like, it's physically impossible to do them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a heartbreak. It's classic Tim Burton. I mean,
absolutely
classic Burton. And we were talking about earlier on with Hitchcock and his 3-film run. This is the end of a 3-year run for Tim Burton of Beetlejuice, Batman, and then Edward Scissorhands.
That's right.
So again, another not too shabby a 3-film run there.
And if you can go back, it's only a 4-year stretch, because you have Pee-wee's Big Adventure in '88.
85, Pee-wee?
85, I'm sorry, no, I was wrong. Wow.
Yeah, 85, Pee-wee.
I feel so bad. I feel better. Let's do better trivia than this.
Yes, I've got chance wrong on the question. That's going to be framed. It's not
Beetlejuice is 88. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
There's not many times you get something wrong in a trivia question. So
it's really not. Pee-wee Herman has been a needle in my side. Go watch the movie if you want proof.
No, are you a Burton fan? Or is it merely just...
I am a Burton fan. I think the dude was really. I think the dude, when he has like a really solid idea, and he can be really imaginative. The dude, I don't think there's a director who can do things quite like Tim, who can, like, direct movies quite like Tim Burton, especially when you have, like, this irreverent concepts and, like, big creative ideas.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going back to the previous one. He did obviously the remake. He did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in 2005.
Which is really not good, although it's not as bad as the other Planet of the Apes.
Oh God, no, that was awful.
That was awful. That was terrible. I mean, although granted, I will give, like, major props to Tim Roth, who he makes that movie almost watchable for me.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, Johnny Depp is obviously pretty much almost Tim Burton's muse in a lot of ways. Is if there's ever two actors that you're going to say go well together, it's those pair.
No, absolutely, and like you had Johnny Depp's penchant for playing, like, weird out there characters.
Yeah,
and this may be the apex of that. It's definitely one of Johnny Depp's better performances. Like, he plays it so reserved and so understated that he ends up making like a really complex character, especially when he gets to the end where he has to make a certain choice. And, like, if you haven't seen it, he has to make you have to do a certain thing, and it kind of. You can tell, like, it weighs really heavily on. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it a long time ago.
And you also got the greatest anti-typecast of all time, Anthony Michael Hall as the jerk Farmer Ted from 16 Candles.
Yes. No, I say a great film, and one that it pulls on the right heartstrings at the right time with it.
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on then. Name a film that you practically know the entire script of.
Quick question. Do you edit this, Dave?
No.
Damn. Well, I want to get my water, but whatever.
No. It's all good. If you want to go get a drink. It's all good.
It's literally, like, right over here. Hold on.
Yeah. No worries. No problem. We'll go on. It's all good.
Okay, sorry. I'm just a little partial. Okay,
it's all good.
Movie I practically know the whole script of. I think hands down for me, it's definitely Pulp Fiction.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's another movie that I did see. I did get to see it for the first time on a big screen, and it's another one of those movies where, like, it's a great, like, crime drama. It has a lot of likability. It has a lot of charm to it. This is, I think, apex Tarantino.
Yep.
The dude has a penchant. He has a penchant for dialogue. He has a penchant for making making stories that, or making scenes that are really like about nothing, like really engaging. Like they could be talking about anything,
Absolutely.
and you're engaged because Tarantino is writing it.
Yeah.
You got so many like great quotable lines from so many, like a lot of Tarantino's best characters came from this movie. You got Jules Winfield, you got Vincent Vega, Mia Wallace, Butch, Marcellus Wallace. There's so many like great quotable lines from this film. You probably from the Ezekiel 25:17. The Ezekiel 25:17 speech, the whole bit about John Travolta's car getting keyed, the vaudevillian humor joke, Fox Force 5.
Yeah, it's If you ever want a guy to if you're looking for the cream of writing, someone to write your screenplay, if you want to go right to the top, there's no one writes dialogue better, personally, than Tarantino.
Yeah, there's a ton of people who can write a great script, but there's no one who can write like Tarantino.
No, absolutely. And the film, it's the way it weaves all the different storylines through, but it still keeps them enclosed, so you're still watching the same film. It's a fantastic film. Another one from a great year of 1994.
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially it's always fun to try and weave the story together, because this was written to be like 3 short films.
Yeah.
Or 4 short films. Yeah, 3 short films, and there's like put a narrative to it, and it comes together really well. Especially love how after every segment, the focus changes to different characters, and each character gets their due. You know so much about each of them by the end of this movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's obviously going back to the writing again. It won the Oscar. Won the Oscar for best screenplay.
Yes, it did. Best original screenplay.
Best original screenplay. It cost $8 million to make. 5 million of that going on salary, so the rest of it is obviously it looks like it's shot on the fly, almost guerrilla shooting with it, where it's not. You can tell it's not a massive soundstage that they're writing. They're in the room, they're on the street, and so on and so forth.
They have to build any sets.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Everything was filmed on location, and it feels like like you said, guerrilla filmmaking. They're in the trenches. They're trying to get these shots done, and you can tell they were you can tell that they had to be situations okay, you need to get this right here, or else we have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. No, it's Is Tarantino that brought you to the film, or did you hear about it before it all?
I've heard a ton about this movie, and my aunt and my uncle were huge fans of it. I just never got a chance to see it, and so when I found out it was playing at a theater near me, I have to go. I have to go see what's up.
Yeah, and
I came out just absolutely loving it.
No, absolutely. Another Tarantino. It's obviously a quirk of his. The F-bomb dropped just a quaint 265 times in the film.
Yeah, I want to know how many of those are MF bombs. From Sam Jackson.
There's going to be 1 or 2 of those in there, absolutely.
Which that was the movie that kind of cemented the MF with Sam Jackson, because
yes.
you read about Samuel Jackson, he said that so much because he's trying to get he said that to get over his stutter. Yes. That he had, and that role was written exclusively for him, and you can clearly see why. There's nobody else who could have done that as well as Sam Jackson.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. The sound and the music in there as well. Obviously, nothing more than when Vince and Mia have the old dance on there, and the dance moves, and it's just, but the whole music and the whole score through it all again is another one that just ties the film in nicely, I think.
Yeah, and such it's such a great use of soundtrack in the movie, because there's no score in that movie. It's all established songs, and all it's all soundtrack. It's always playing in a car nearby, or on a stereo.
Yeah.
Except for the opening, of course, that great guitar riff. But yeah, that's such a great use of music in that movie. That kind of started Tarantino's use of music in movies. Although you did have what was the song? I'm trying to think of one from Reservoir Dogs.
Is the Steelers wheel?
Oh, Stuck in the Middle.
Yeah, Stuck in the Middle with you. Yes.
That's right. It was that in Reservoir Dogs that like show that Tarantino knew how to use music when he wanted music.
No, absolutely. I mean, Reservoir Dogs. Obviously it came out before it, but it was a few years after. I mean, I caught both of them on VHS rather than at the time, rather than the cinemas when they came out. But it's Reservoir Dogs for me. I watched this and I'm like, I need to see the next thing that this guy has done.
Yeah, and that's how I've been ever since I saw Reservoir Dogs. I've seen every Tarantino movie since, and I will continue to watch any movie he puts out because he's one of my favorite directors.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Okay, speaking of favourite directors, who is your favourite director? Wow.
Segue, and double segue. No, it's not. Tarantino was close. It's not him for me though. I think when looking at this is a hard movie because like I love so many different directors, but looking at like my favorites of all time. There's one person who has like more entries than anybody, and that's someone I think we brought up earlier on the show, Mr. Steven Spielberg.
Oh yes, this is where our lists coincide again. I mean, obviously there are so many good directors. For me though, this is the right answer. The guys.
No, exactly. Like the dude is he's one of the greats. Like
yes,
he built his success in '75 with Jaws, which was one of my favorites of all time.
Yep.
And then he managed to continue that career until today. That's over 40 years of like certified solid filmmaking.
Absolutely, with not really many sort of trips. There's only really
he doesn't have a lot of like major missteps.
No. The 1941 I think is the only real major misstep.
Well, he also came with a Crystal Skull.
Yeah, but that made some money. It's not as if that was.
It still made money, just like quality wise.
Yeah, quality.
And even then, that's not on him.
No, I mean I don't. I like to think that.
Like George Lucas has come up and said like, okay, yeah, that was on me. I'm sorry, people.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, 1941, even that had its moments, but.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, like there's no like absolute like I don't think there's like a single absolutely irredeemable Spielberg movie.
No.
And it's funny, like you brought up, because like Ready Player One, I actually just saw very recently.
Oh, I love that film.
Yeah, I love that movie. It feels like Spielberg. It feels like Spielberg, like cranked up to 11.
Yes.
Like I don't think anybody like. There's a reason like he had to make that movie. That nobody else could have made that film, and especially like
no.
he's I believe he's over 70, like 72, 71.
He's got to be about that now.
Gotta be about that, and like he shows no sign of stopping. Like,
no.
He's amazing, and you look at his success. Like he has so many movies that are regarded as like classic. I mean, you got Jaws, Close Encounters, Jurassic Park, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, Saving Private Ryan.
On and on and on.
The list goes on.
Yeah, I mean,
and to think like this dude's making movies that are still getting nominated for Best Picture. He's still getting nominated for Best Director.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's obviously with I think yourself did on one of the shows that you did with Ready Player One coming out. Everyone's been going out and doing the top 10 Spielbergs. I mean, I did a top 5. I mean, how God knows how I top that down to the top 5 films. But it's even the top 10s, and they are all incredibly good films. To try and pin them down it's almost impossible. You just got to go arbitrary. It says I get more out of this than that. It's not saying that's a better film than that. It's just I personally get this out of that.
No, exactly. Like saying you're the 10th best Spielberg movie. That's not an insult.
No, not at all. Because it's still probably even the 10th is probably better than 90% of the working directors out there.
I can't remember where I heard this, but like a B-level Spielberg movie is still better than most directors' A+ work.
Absolutely. I mean, he's done, I think, 32 or 33 now. I can't remember if Ready Player One is 33rd or 32nd.
I think it's 33.
Yeah. 10 Best Picture nominations. 1 in 3, near as damn it, 1 in 3 gets Best Picture nomination, and 6 Best Director nominations.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that is nuts. And I believe 2 wins in that category.
Yes, 2 wins: Schindler's List and Saving Private Ryan, and
Yep.
then Schindler's List for the best picture win. But it's the guy's phenomenal. Did you have you read the book of Ready Player One?
I have. I really love the book too.
Yeah, and I said that was me. That was because I say I've read it. I've listened to it on Audible. So because I spend my job.
Either way, you know the story of the book.
Yes, yeah. I spend my day, my job spent driving, so it's just easier for me. I just stick Audible on it. It just goes in like 2 days. But the way that it was both able to weave the story of the book into the film, but also, if you've not read the book, you don't need to read the book to enjoy the film. It was just, fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving on. What's your favourite film from your childhood?
Favorite film from my childhood. Okay, so when I was a kid, there were 2 VHSs that were in constant rotation for me. I might bring up the other one later. But the first one, I think my favorite movie from my childhood, that I'm going to use for this one, is A Bug's Life. Pixar's second feature film.
Yes.
I don't know what it was about this movie that I gravitated to it so much, but I've rewatched it. Like, A Bug's Life has like a lot of merit to it. Yeah, it's the whole like liar reveal thing, but it has some really great protagonists, has some really great voice acting. You have a great villain in Hopper.
Yep. Kevin Spacey.
Who's someone that's has done a good life right now. But hey, he made some good work either way. But this is a movie that I watched constantly when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so engrossed in like the bug world and the bug characters, and it's a movie that was literally on constant rotation for me to the point where I would wear out like VHSs.
Yep.
And my mom would have to keep like buying new copies because I would keep like wearing out the VHS.
Yeah. No, it's as you say, it's with Pixar that they were able to weave, with it being obviously this one being the Inside World, they weaved in parts of the Toy Story film in there. So the Pizza Planet van appears in,
which is in all their movies.
Yes, yeah, the Pizza Planet turns up in there. It was the first Pixar film to actually have outtakes on it. As they come through.
That was a really funny bit at the end.
Yes, yeah.
I love that like they animate like wrong takes.
It's
a great thing to actually take the time to do that.
Yeah, it's obviously not an outtake because you've had to draw this lot. You had to do this lot. It's it kind of gets overlooked a lot nowadays with Pixar.
No, it really does. I think it's because Pixar has so many great movies that like Bug's Life kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
Mm.
But it's still like a really, really solid movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was the first DVD to have a first ever all digital video transfer.
Was it now?
Yeah. Who was it? Who played Dot? Hayden Panettiere as Dot.
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, I've got a crush on her, but I'm sure I'm not the only one with that one. Anyway.
Hayden Panettiere, what's her? Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in the movie.
Yes.
They started Pixar relationship with Bonnie Hunt, she's in a ton of their stuff.
Yep. Dennis
Leary.
Roddy McDowall. It was his last
Roddy
film.
McDowall.
Yeah. It was his last film. He died sort of 8 weeks after release.
That's right.
Yeah, but obviously then John Ratzenberger, who's he's
in Elvis movies, also always as the flea.
Yes,
really hilarious.
Yeah, but like I say, they're always able to get such an incredible cast to do those.
Yeah, they really are, and I think what puts Pixar above like most anime studios is the fact that they don't treat their cast members like celebrities. They treat them like voice actors.
Yes,
like they never try to sell their movies based on. They try to sell the movie based on the movie. They don't try to sell it based on who they got on the talent. Yeah. Because they treat their talent like they treat their talent like voice actor. I think that's what sets them apart from most animation studios.
Yeah, I mean you don't go to see, you don't go to see Toy Story. Or you don't go to see Toy Story 4 when it comes out to go and see Tom Hanks.
No, you go to see.
You'll go and see Buzz and Woody.
Exactly.
Yeah, but okay. Kind of tied into that though a little bit. What's your favourite animated film?
Well, speaking of Buzz and Woody,
Yep.
my favorite animated movie of all time is Toy Story.
Yes.
Well, one of my favorite movies of all time. I said there was like two movies that were constant rotation for me. Toy Story was the other one that my mom had to keep buying for me because, like, Toy Story, like, it's first of all that was a revolutionary movie when it came out, and it's a revolutionary movie now just because, like, animation like that, it was not done on the scale that Toy Story did it.
No.
Like, that was the very first entirely computer animated movie, and like, what sets that apart, I think, there you have like the sharp script, which one of the writers on that was actually Joss Whedon.
Yep.
And I think just so much of that movie works to build like it builds such great characters, does such a great job fleshing out the world of toys. It manages to sneak in an existential crisis with Buzz Lightyear, which I thought was like really smart and really well done.
Yes.
To the point where like it makes the film like really rewatchable. And I remember because it was on HBO, not HBO. One there was the ones that was on ABC, and it, like me and my mom were channel flipping, and it just like came on, and we just didn't turn it off. We just kept watching it because it still holds up just as well as it did in '95 today. '95, Jesus,
yeah, I know.
3 years.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely ridiculous. One where the sequels, it's a rarity where the sequels are just as much beloved. Both sequels are just as much beloved.
Yeah, both sequels hit just as hard, which is weird to think, but Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 is really supposed to be straight to DVD.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah, you don't get... Sometimes you get where the sequel is better than the original T2, for example, personally.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. But, like, to get, like... But Toy Story... The first Toy Story, I think, is perfect. And to get the two sequels that are pretty much on par with that, like, that's an incredible feat.
I mean, it is... Personally, it's my it flips between 1 and 2 of my perfect trilogies.
Yeah, no, yeah. I can agree with that.
I worry about number 4 though.
What was that?
I do worry about the 4th one that's been.
No, I do too. I am really worried about 4.
Yeah, there's the old adage of going to the well one too
like
many times.
We ended it perfectly with Toy Story 3, which is an awesome movie.
Yes.
That should have been nominated for Best Picture. I'm just saying that because I know Robert Parker is listening. And yeah, and you're going back to 4, which that's really troublesome to me, at least, being a huge fan of those first 3.
Yeah, but we'll just see where it is. Obviously, the voice talent again on this. You've got
exactly. You got Tom Hanks. You got Tim Allen.
Willing to be in 1995, which is prime Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Willing to be in a kids film.
An animated movie for a first-time animation studio.
Yes, absolutely phenomenal with it. Obviously hits out of the park. Absolutely nails it.
You got You got Tim Allen. You got Don Rickles. You got Jim Varney.
Yeah.
John Ratzenberger in his very first Pixar role.
Oh, good God, yes. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. 3 Oscar nominations. 3 or 2? We got Best Song, or nominated for Best Song with You Got Offended Me.
Deserved, well deserved.
Yeah, yeah. Randy Newman was nominated as well. I know that much. I can't remember if the screenplay got it as well. I can't remember. Anyway, no, a fantastic film. I mean, it's one that's I've got, and it's you're right. If it comes on, you can't help but watch it and be again just drawn into the entire.
Yeah, you can't just like watch it and feel like you did when. Well, at least like you can't just watch it and feel like a kid again.
No, absolutely. Okay, moving on then. So, what's your favourite quote from any film?
This is a really tough one. This is a really tough one.
Yeah,
I know. I just talked at length about the Pulp Fiction script. Well, my line's not from that one though. My favorite quote from any film, I think, it's got to be. It's from Jaws. It's "Smile, you son of a bitch."
Oh yes.
And I think what set that for me is because like I can't prove this, but I'm pretty sure that was the birth of the action movie one-liner.
Right. Yeah.
75. I can't quantify that in the slightest, but like you go back and you look at like the catalog of like iconic action films. Jaws predates all of them, and that was like I think that started a tradition of like giving like one like super badass awesome line right before doing right before a kill.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, it's where Arnie gets his let off some steam as he's just throwing the pipe through into Commando. It's that kind of line, but as you say, it's iconic with it. I mean, Jaws itself was
and at the same time, like it's totally justified within the script because
yes.
I mean, you got this guy, you got Roy Scheider, Martin Brody. He's been on this boat. His friend just got eaten. His other friend's missing. He's frustrated. He's tired. He's in the sun. He's surrounded by this damn shark. Won't leave him alone. Like, you know what? Just smile, you son of a bitch. And then he just he blows him up.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So speaking of films with sequels, this is definitely one of a law of diminishing returns.
No, yeah, and that's this also, and with the birth of the action movie one-liner, you also get the birth of the unnecessary sequels.
Yes, including one. Oh God, the one with Michael Caine in. Is that 4?
That's 4. That's just 4, where the shark becomes a serial killer and tracks him.
And tracks all the way around to the other side of the country. And
I was like, how did you? Like, this is one vengeful ass shark.
Yeah. Of course it is. It's the same shark. Of course it is. Oh dear. Okay, no, brilliant quote, brilliant film. Right, another really tough one that's changed from the original set of things that came. I've condensed them down. Favourite actor or actress?
This was a really tough one. There's so many. Like it's hard for me to get like the top 10 stuff because there's so many like great actors working today. But okay, I think this will go in my heart because like this is a career that he's had a career for a really long time, and he's still working today. And I think he's had one of the most interesting journeys for any actor. Mm-hmm. And I think my favorite actor is Robert Downey Jr.
Oh God, yes.
I think it's because I identify with him a lot, just because of like I think like his attitude, his attitude, his persona is like I kind of see like a lot of myself in Robert Downey Jr. I think if I became a big actor, that's what Keith would want to be like, and also because like. You gotta look at his career like a retrospective because like he was like really big in the 80s.
Yes. And
he was supposed to go on to be this like really big thing. Got nominated for an Oscar for Chaplin. The movie's not cool. Robert Downey Jr. is phenomenal in that film. And then drugs happen, and then he kind of falls off. And then like Jon Favreau takes the immense risk of not only making a movie based on a like D-level superhero.
Absolutely, no one heard of him outside of the hardcore comic book fans.
Yeah, no one cared about Iron Man. Not only using like a D-list superhero, but casting an actor who at the time was a has-been, and trying to make that the start of what would be like a multi-billion-dollar franchise. That's an incredible risk. Yeah, and it's one that I think really paid off because Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, I think, is one of. I mean, you look at the pantheon, like the what I would call the Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Of perfect superhero, of perfect comic book portrayals. I mean, you got Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, you got Heath Ledger's the Joker, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
Yep.
Like him as Tony Stark, that is just absolutely perfect casting.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of the most interesting characters to come out in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
He grows every movie. Robert Downey Jr. is always hitting with that character, and you can really tell he's kind of become like Tony Stark in real life.
Yes,
and he's just so magnetic in that role. And even aside from that, after that you have like Tropic Thunder.
Yeah,
or you have even smaller movies.
Yeah, I really enjoyed his Sherlock Holmes. The first one.
Yeah, even a Sherlock Holmes.
The second one, not so much, but the first one.
The second one, I think, is pretty fun. I think both of them are pretty good. Even both of them. Robert Downey Jr. is hitting hard, despite the fact he's not even British, and he's doing really good.
No, absolutely. I mean, Sherlock Holmes itself, the actual character in the books themselves, I've got a massive book of all the short stories in there. I've been to the 221B Baker Street Museum in London, and so on and so forth. Not many museums that we actually get from films that are over on this side of the pond I get to go to.
But you also got other movies. You got like Tropic Thunder. He managed to do blackface in a movie and still get nominated for an Oscar, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
The Judge, which he's really good in. Due Date, which he was really good in. Zodiac, which a lot of people consider David Fincher's best film, he is hands down the best part of that movie, I think.
Yes, I love that. The Judge I watched it. I mean, it came to probably a couple of years after it was. Yeah, probably last year before last when I watched that. And that is obviously that's smack bang in the middle of prime MCU, and it didn't do as well because I think so many people at the time now can't distinguish Robert Downey Jr. from Tony Stark. He's become so synonymous with that role.
No, exactly, and you can clearly see why. But I think he's trying to distance himself from that. He's about to do a film with Linklater. It sounds really cool. Yeah. He's doing Dr. Dolittle, which I'm strangely really interested in.
God, yeah. I've heard about that.
Like the cat, like he released like the cast for that movie. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like bizarrely really good.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Could be something really special. But even something like Smalley pops into, like he's in a movie Chef that came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like, he's in one scene in that movie. He's great.
Yeah. Going back to the Dr. Dolittle that he's on with soon. Just really quickly, the cast in that is obviously Downey Jr., Tom Holland, John Cena, Marion Cotillard, Ralph Fiennes, Antonio Banderas, Emma Thompson, Selena Gomez, Michael Sheen. It's just the voice talent alone in that is going to make
the
that
voice talent. I mean, Kumail Nanjiani, that movie as an ostrich.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, big question. I've obviously got a comic book fan with you. Who's dying in Infinity War then?
Oh, Infinity War. Okay, so
who's biting the bullet?
All right, I think Loki's dead. I think Nebula's toast.
Yeah.
I think you probably see Vision die.
Yeah.
Let's see anybody. I think I cued Gamora a lot, but I think she survives.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's actually a tough one. I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys play big roles in Avengers 4. I think Sam. There's a good chance Sam Wilson dies.
Yeah, you reckon they're going to kill Falcon?
They might. There's a good chance.
Because the other way, because obviously he's been Captain America in some films.
Yeah,
so it's
either going to be. I think whichever one. It's either going to be between Bucky and Sam Wilson. Whichever one dies, the other is going to be Captain America. Because I don't think you're going to see what's his face? Chris Evans come back after Avengers 4. I don't think he's going to die in this. I think he died in Avengers 4. But
yeah, I think they may play because obviously in the comics he died. Which is where the whole Civil War, at the tail end of the Civil War. I think he might leave this one, give him fair few years to do whatever he wants to go off and do, but leave it open for him to come back as the commander, however he was, and let one. I think you
could also see the Collector go or Vision because he has an Infinity Stone in his head.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. He needs that stone, so does that kill him?
You gotta get that stone. So I think Vision's toast.
Yeah. Okay. Right, okay, that's I've geeked out enough on this. Let's crack on with these. Okay, another one of the most controversial answers we get on a lot of these. What's your most overrated film?
Okay, so I have what I call the holy trinity of overrated movies.
Okay.
Can I go over all three?
Okay, let's start with the first. Or do you want to give all three and then give you reasons, or?
I'll go one by one.
Okay.
I'll start with the earliest first because we already kind of hinted at the first one. The first one is Forrest Gump.
Whoa! Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. I think so. I watched it the first time I was like a kid, and I was like, okay, this is fine. And then I kind of watched it. I watched it later. I'm like, oh no, this is not very good. I mean, look, Tom Hanks is great in the movie, but like. I don't really find the premise very interesting. It's kind of like this is guy. It's like, oh, we're gonna have him go through history, and like he's never gonna change, never gonna react to anything. Like, granted, Tom Hanks is acting, he's acting the shit out of anything in that movie. Yeah, I don't find Jenny particularly interesting. I find her just like a nuisance. Like, she's awful, and the fact that like a good point of the movie is like Forrest hung up on Jenny is I think that really hinders the movie just because like. You really don't like her as a character. My other, I think I may have killed Dave. I can't really hear.
No, I'm here. I've just recovered.
Yeah, I also kind of like. I think it's kind of manipulative, like the whole American nostalgia, which is me saying because I really love Ready Player One so much.
Mm-hmm.
I also find the overdubbing like really, really distracting and really bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
You can address my picks later.
Yeah.
My second movie is, I think this is the worst of three, but it's not the one I hate the most. It's Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Moulin Rouge, I really think it's a really bad movie. It's annoyingly edited. It's completely inept to the concept of love. Even though they try to act like they know what's going on, it didn't belong anywhere near Best Picture. The editing is absolutely atrocious and annoying. You watch the first 30 minutes of that movie, I think there's only a handful of shots that last more than 5 seconds.
Okay.
It's just so annoyingly edited. The music choices are really, really terrible because they have to make them tie in because it's a jukebox musical and those are always bad. But those are usually bad because they have to write around this. But I mean, Ewan McGregor is good. Jim Broadbent's good. The villain is absolutely over the top, and not in a good way. Not in Stallone over the top kind of way. He's really bizarrely over the top. Nicole Kidman's not very good in the movie. She got nominated for an Oscar. I really don't see why. And yeah, I think my biggest problem with Moulin Rouge is the fact that they try to act like they know all of this, great intimate stuff about the concept of love. And really, when you look at the story as a whole, they really do not understand it. So That's my other one. My last one. This one really hurts me to my core. This is a movie I really extraordinarily can't stand, and that's Titanic.
Okay.
I really freaking hate Titanic, and I've never got why people love this movie so much. Because it's got that great scale, it's got that great direction, and the ship sinking sequence, that whole sequence is actually pretty entertaining. But the movie as a whole, it's not good. They use that as a means for this love story that is so poorly written. It's so immensely poorly written. These characters are not. You don't really identify with them very much, and that's because you don't know a lot. You know a lot about them, but it's just so written so sappily and really hits on, I think, James Cameron's weak spot, which is writing, at least nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Avatar and all that, but it really hits on James Cameron does not know how to write a love story, and that is the epitome of that. And I think that Titanic, when a big chunk of the hinges on this romance that is so poorly written and is so bad and is only done because of these two characters are just they're hot and they want to bang and stuff. When it's just that, when the bulk of the movie hinges on that aspect, you're asking for failure, and you got failure. And granted, that movie made $2 billion, still sucks. Didn't even need to be anywhere near 3 hours long.
But yeah, I will concede Moulin Rouge, although I don't think it's particularly liked enough to be.
Oh, there's some hardcore Moulin Rouge. I dated a hardcore Moulin Rouge fan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Titanic, I'll give you. It's too long, and yeah, for a film where you're sitting down, you know what's going to happen. It needs to have something else going on in it to keep you.
Aside from a BS romance, yes, yeah, something else.
Yeah. Forrest Gump, though, man. I adore Forrest Gump.
I know a lot of people do.
I mean, I've got a feeling you've got something against it. Your 3 films combined have got 19 Oscars and 16 other nominations between them.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll call you out on Forrest Gump. The other 2 I'll give you.
Okay. Okay. I had a feeling. I've had a feeling you're coming on one of them. Forrest Gump. I just don't find the character for him particularly, especially the fact that he's doing so much. He's not reacting to any of it. He's literally changing the course of American history. He's not reacting to any of it. And also the fact that the story had to make any sense. He's done all he's been an all-pro player. He's been an all-American football player. He started a cross-country running cult. He has a revolutionary shrimp business. He's an international ping pong player.
I never said Never said it made any sense. I just said
Yeah, in the book he goes to space, but like no one recognizes this guy. He can just like walk on the street.
Okay, right. Okay, this is Chance's choice. These are not my choice. Hit him up. Hit him up on this to bring him call him out on this.
Hey, five. If you can find him, Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's flip that on its head. Go the other way of it. What's your most underrated film?
My most underrated movie. We're going back to Robert Downey Jr. My most underrated movie, I think, is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Shane Black's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay.
Who this is his very first directorial feature, and it was like a great like neo-noir crime thriller. And this was kind of like the genesis of Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback because this is like his first like really good big leading role like a while correctly. Yeah. And he's really fantastic. Like he plays a guy who becomes an accidental Hollywood star, and then he gets caught up with his whole like big like crime caper. Val Kilmer's in it before he became like Val Kilmer now.
Yeah.
And he's really good. Monahan's fantastic, and I think the star of this movie is more Shane Black because this is his very first directorial debut. He's the guy who he did uncredited rewrites on Predator. He wrote Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
The first two, anyways. The dude's a phenomenal writer, and this dude is also a phenomenal director.
Yes.
Because he has such like a style and such an artistic flair to his movies, and that I think is really underappreciated. I mean, you look at like something like he did like the Nice Guys 2 years ago,
yes.
Which nobody saw, but was one of my favorite movies that year.
No, absolutely. I mean, so that got brought up I think last week with Taylor Robinson, who was on. She really liked Oscar, and as you say, it's one that kind of passed people by. It really needs to be watched. That could quite easily drop in a lot of people's underrated one coming up soon.
Yeah, no, it really did. Like the Nice Guys, fantastic, and like if you like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, if you like Nice Guys, you will love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang because like it's kind of like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Part 2. But yeah, I think this was really like Shane Black. I'm like, I can make big movies, and in that he became one of my favorite directors working today, and I am so excited for his version of the Predator coming out later this year.
Yeah, that's after some of the really bad ones that have been. Although Predators wasn't that bad, but the two.
Predators actually I thought was really good.
Yeah. Another one that's. Why are you trying to make Adrian Brody into an action star though? It's
yeah, I'm right. Especially when you try to give him like Arnold Schwarzenegger's line, it's more like I'm right here, do it, kill me, I'm right here, come on, kill me now.
No, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang it's a really good film and one that if people have not seen really ought to watch. Okay, kind of along the same kind of lines as underrated, but what's a film that you like that no one would expect you to?
There were two I kind of flip flopped with. I knew I wanted to go with Rob Zombie's Halloween because I really do enjoy that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not what people say, but the one I will go with is one that I remember watching the trailer for this. I'm like, okay, this is gonna this came out in like the Renaissance. I say with air quotations, the Renaissance of like teen YA teen BS movies that I like to call. And I saw a trailer for this movie. I'm like, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be another one of those like stupid teen romance movies. But it came out, and I surprisingly really enjoyed it. And that's The Fault in Our Stars.
Okay, I've not seen it.
Yeah, no, it's surprisingly really solid. Like you have two really great likable leads. You have Shailene Woodley, who did a fantastic performance to the point where I think she should have been in consideration for an Oscar nomination that year. You also have this is I think the breakout performance of Ansel Elgort, who was just a Baby Driver last year, which also was really good. This was kind of like his big breakout role, and both of them they had this like really great likable romance because they're both like written like really well. And the romance is written as opposed to Titanic. The romance in this movie is actually written really well. And you also have You also have Willem Dafoe in this movie. You have Nat Wolff, who was just in it's not like a highlight of his career or anything. He was just in the Netflix version of Death Note, which is getting some not great reception.
Yeah.
But that proved he is a really good actor. He is a really good actor, and like if you want to watch that movie.
Yeah. And
I think what really works is the fact that it's not. I mean, yes, it is a romance by two teenagers, but it's not written. It's not. They don't pander. It's not written for like anybody who has ever been in love or like had in love at some point, and it's written really smartly. It's not like they don't like try to like pander to the teenage audience.
Okay.
Oh, also Laura Dern. This is like kind of like the start of like Laura Dern's comeback.
Yeah.
Because she was in this movie and she was really good.
Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, it's not one I've seen. If I catch it around, I'll try and catch up on that.
Yeah, you absolutely should. Cause it's a really solid movie that I didn't think would be like at all.
All right. Okay. Moving on, going back to your list of things. What's your favourite classic film?
Ooh, I talked about Psycho a little bit earlier. I'm not gonna go there again. My favorite classic film, I think, would be Some Like It Hot. Some Like It Hot, the Billy Wilder classic comedy featuring Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Marilyn Monroe.
Yep.
It's about these two jazz musicians that they're witness to a crime, so they have to go on the run. But they're looking for jobs and they can't do anything else, and they're looking for jobs. And the only band hiring is it's an all-female group. So in order to get away, they disguise themselves as women and go off with the band.
Yeah.
And hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
And it really is it's a comedy that really stands up to at the time because you got Jack Lemmon, who was one of the great actors of all time.
Yep.
And what I think was his best performance, he is just so great and he is so funny in this movie that he was actually nominated for an Oscar. I think it's one of his very first leading man Oscar Academy Award nominations. And yeah, you have Jack Lemmon, who's always hilarious. You have his straight man, Tony Curtis, who is he's always great when he pops up and stuff.
Yes.
And then you have Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, I want to think it was one of her first leading performances in a film. Possibly. It was one of. I don't know if it was the first. It was one of. But yeah, you can clearly see in this movie why she became a huge thing because she was a great. She wasn't just a pretty face. She proved she was a great actress.
Yes.
And she was really good in this movie as Sugar, as the girl who, the ukulele player and singer for the band, who's she hasn't had the best luck with men, and her and Tony Curtis developed a relationship, and it is a really well built foundation because there's the aspect of he has inside ears on her, and he also plays another character in the movie who starts to date Marilyn Monroe's character. And I think what caps it off for me is Jack Lemmon steals it for me, and he develops sort of a romance, I guess, with another character who can't seem to pick up on the fact that he's a man.
Yeah. And
spoiler alert. I'm gonna give you the. Well, Dave, have you seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so spoiler. I'm about to give away the ending of this movie. So mute for the next 30 seconds. So you get to the ending of the movie, and they're going away. They're running away with Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Marilyn Monroe, and the guy Jack Lemmon's been, dating throughout the entire movie. And they were gonna get married, and he was totally into a problem, and now he's trying to make up excuses for as to why they can't do it, why they can't get married. He's I smoke all the time. I can live with it. He's I can never have children. We'll adopt. He's I can't do it. I'm a man. And he says the perfect response. Nobody's perfect, and then the movie just ends right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of my favorite lines, one of the best endings in I think a movie. I think any movie. It's just such a great comedy. It still holds up today.
No, absolutely. It's an absolutely classic film. As you say, it's Marilyn Monroe. She had done ones before. She'd done Niagara 7 years and a couple of others before. So yeah, she'd become established as there.
Right.
But by all accounts on here, she needed multiple takes to get it. The especially on the "It's Me Sugar" line, she needed 47 takes to get that line down. She kept saying it wrong, or it's a great film. Okay, 2 left. We're nearly there. Name the film with the best soundtrack.
Best soundtrack. I think this is a note for me, and it's a movie that I think is good. Although the thing that stands out in this movie is absolutely the soundtrack, and that is Prince's "Purple Rain."
Yes.
It's a movie that every song was written and composed by Prince.
Yep.
He won an Academy Award for Best Music for the soundtrack. You can clearly see why. So many great, iconic Prince songs that we know today as his like classic movie. I mean, you got Let's Go Crazy in this movie.
Yeah.
I Would Die for You, When Doves Cry, the song Purple Rain.
Yeah.
You also have Jungle Love, by Morris Day and The Time. You have so many great songs that like in the outlook of Prince's like illustrious repertoire have become cemented as like his greatest, and they all come from this movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm a massive Prince fan myself. When he first came to my attention, it was more Prince of the New Power generation at the time, during the sort of like the Cream, Get Off, Sexy Motherfucker, and all that lot. Those were the first three that really caught my attention with him, and then I caught the back catalogue, and then which brought me to Purple Film, and yeah, the film itself is probably not, as you say, not the best film, but the soundtrack.
I mean, it's got its moments.
Yeah, the soundtrack itself is.
The soundtrack is what it will bring that film together.
Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, are you a Prince fan, or was it?
Oh, I am a massive Prince fan. Like he was before he passed away, he was like my dream concert. Like if I could see like anybody in concert, he was the one I picked to see.
Yeah. And
yeah, it's like Prince is someone like, I didn't think he was able to die. Like I thought he was one of those guys who could like live forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you look at this movie, like it's literally just, like it starts at 100 miles an hour, and it keeps you there for the entirety of the film.
Yep.
At least like the soundtrack does, because like it starts to look crazy, and then like you get like that big capo Purple Rain, which that performance in the movie is just so. It's just like the apex. It's the apex of the film, because like it's like so much been building there, and so much has led to that moment to where like he finally trusts his bandmates, he listens to this song, and then like when he does it, like it's just such an emotional, powerful performance, and especially when Prince passed away, like MTV ran that movie all day.
Yeah. And
I sat down and watched it, and it makes you really appreciate how good that soundtrack was.
Yeah. Okay. Right then. Last question. We're nearly there. What's your favourite film franchise?
I mean, this thing started with Star Wars, and only that it ends. It's the only thing that it ends with Star Wars, because Star Wars is my absolute favorite film franchise.
Okay.
I mean, you got 70 years. Oh, not, why did I say 70 years? I'm like, damn. Oh, wow, I bet I had to touch. I mean, you got almost like 50 years of quality filmmaking. I won't say quality, not all quality, but you have like 50 years of like cultural relevance and great iconic filmmaking. I mean, you go from like the old school, like the original trilogy, and then you go like the newer school, like the Millennial Crew. You got the prequels, which you say what you will about those. That has a pretty good idea, and they have some pretty good moments, I will say. And then you have like it's still relevant today. I mean, you have like Jedi and Force Awakens and Rogue One, like each of those movies, like they're still making like $1 billion a piece.
Yes.
Like Star Wars is still just as relevant today as it was in 1977. And when you have a universe as big and as expansive as the Star Wars universe is, I mean, like, why wouldn't you play in that sandbox more?
No, absolutely. It's a film that, as you say, has brought new fans in and has been relevant in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, and the 10s. It's in every decade for the last 40 years. It has brought new fans into the fold. It quite rightly. I mean, I don't think there will ever be another franchise that does what Star Wars has done.
No, exactly. Like, there's no other franchise. Like, you can maybe argue Daniel Bond, but like, there's no other franchise that's like multi-generational that can transcends like the 70s to find like new fans today. Like, there's nothing else that can really do that.
No, and so Bond will do it. The way that Star Wars, the impressive way that Star Wars has done it is it's a through story.
Exactly. Like it's cohesive.
Yes.
It's cohesive. It's one narrative. You're following like the journey. Like, essentially, you're following the journey of this one family, but you're following the journey of this one family in like a massive, massive universe that really has corners that can be explored like for several me.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, as they're saying, episode 9. That's obviously JJ coming back with that. They're then saying that the saga films are going to stop for 10 years or so, which I think they'll need to give it the breathing room
Yeah,
cross.
I think what they're probably thinking, I think what they really should do, like as soon as 9, give the saga like a 10-year break, and then but you can do like spin-off movies, spin-off movies in between.
Yeah.
Like keep stop the saga movies after 9, and then just do like spin-offs, and then like bring it back in like 10, 15 years, so we can get another new generation into the mix.
Absolutely. I mean, the filmmakers that have got lined up for these non-saga films, you've got Rian Johnson doing a trilogy of films away from the saga films, and the creators or the writers of Game of Thrones.
David Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
Those guys. I mean, if those guys are let loose to do their series of films themselves, then that will be something special, I think.
And even aside from that, you got like on TV, you got Jon Favreau doing a Star Wars show.
Yeah, well, I mean that really surprised me. I thought they might have switched it the opposite way around and had Favreau do a series of films and let Benioff and Weiss have the TV series. But maybe Benioff and Weiss wanted to move into feature films now after being with Game of Thrones for so long. But no. Okay, right. Here's an interesting one. An extra question one for you. Rate your Star Wars films.
Rank them?
Rank them.
Okay, so mine would go Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Number 1. I'm going from one to one.
Yeah.
So Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Star Wars, the original. That's 77. Shocker for some people. Last Jedi is my number 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I really love Last Jedi. Then above that, I have Force Awakens.
Yep.
Then above that, below that, Force Awakens. Then Rogue One.
Yep.
Then Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
And Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
And Phantom Menace. And then the Clone Wars, the animated movie, is right after that.
Yeah.
And then right after that is Attack of the Clones, because there's nothing in that movie. Okay, you do have
there's a massive brawl in there with all the Jedi's turning up. That's
you have that big fight with the Jedi. Although I kind of want to see the fight, other things, lightsabers that are destroyed, but that's fine. Yeah, you and McGregor, you have Christopher Lee. I mean, there's stuff in that, but the worst parts of the prequels definitely come from Episode 2.
Good God, yes. Yeah.
I hate sand. It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. It's yeah. I think we're pretty similar on mine. I think mine's obviously Empire. I think is probably going to be that's up there for
most people.
For most people on there. New Hope is after that. Force Awakens for me jumps in there. Then I'm Rogue One. Revenge of the Sith I rate above Last Jedi. I think Last Jedi's got some major plot points that if JJ fixes in 9, I'll be happy with. But then Jedi, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and then Clone Wars, abomination of an animated film at the bottom. But yeah, there we go. Just a little. See where we.
I mean, if you treat it like not like a narrative film and like a pilot for a TV series, which it was.
Yes. Yeah.
That would be fine.
Yeah. Okay, we're done. Thank you once again to this week's guest, Chance Ellison.
Of course.
Chance, just while we've got you here, before you in there, plug some things.
Oh, plug some things. Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChanceWars_91. You can also find me Stardust and Letterboxd at ChanceT83. Follow my Full Metal Media. It's a YouTube multimedia platform that I help create. You can also check out all about movie games, channel that I work for, and also check out my personal YouTube channel at Chance the Critic on YouTube, where I do reviews, trailer reactions, all sorts of good stuff.
Okay, fantastic. Just to remind you guys, we're on iTunes and Podbean, so please download the episodes, follow the Podbean feed, or subscribe via iTunes, rate and review. Thanks once again to Shay Watson and his band Princip, who helped and gave me the intro music to hear, kindly donated the first 10 seconds of the song for me. If you fancy being in the hot seat, where Chance is so ably filled this week, you can email the podcast on thatmadeyourlist@outlook.com. We are on Twitter at @thatmadeyour. We have our own Facebook page, where you can find all the old episodes as well as a pinned post of the questions asked. So please get involved. Comment on the post on there. Tell me if I've been harsh to any choices out there, or if
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Chad is wrong for thinking that Forrest Gump is overrated?
I'm sure someone does.
Just please, don't be rude. Be polite. Yeah, that's all my plugs. I've been Dave Gudger. He's been Chance Ellison, and this has been That Made Your List.